A very delightful afternoon to our chief guest, Dr. Leela Ramamurthy ma'am, our beloved principal, Dr. M.K. Marthy ma'am, our correspondent and honorable secretary, Dr. Gautam P. Ved sir, and all the faculty members and students. On behalf of Guru Shri Shanti Vijay Jain College for Women, I, Mridula Sharma, pursuing second year BCom Corporate Secretaryship Shift 2, seems it as a great honor in welcoming each and everyone to the celebration of International Literacy Day. We are happy in having all of you for the celebration of this International Literacy Day. International Literacy Day is an occasion to celebrate the importance of literacy to individuals, communities, and societies everywhere. On behalf of each and everyone, I would like to extend a cheerful welcome to our guest speaker, Dr. Leela Ramamurthy ma'am, Academic Coordinator of Chimaya Vishwavidyapeeth, deemed to be University, Kerala. It is a great pleasure in having you as a chief guest for today's celebration, ma'am. A day without prayer is a day without blessings, and we should always be faithful in prayer. So, let's start the celebration with prayer. Now, I request Shalini from third year BCom ANF, NSS Secretary, to render a courteous welcome to our chief guest and towards the beholders. Over to you, Shalini.
Good afternoon to everyone. I, Shalini, 3rd BCom, Shift 1, NSS Secretary, sees it as a great pleasure in extending welcome to our Honorable Chief Guest on behalf of National Service Scheme NSS of Guru Sri Shanti Vijay Jain College for Women. Celebrations infuse life with passion and purpose. They summon the human spirit, and on celebrating this International Literacy Day, that spread the importance of education among each and every human in the world. We are extremely happy to join with our guest speaker, Dr. Leela Ramamurthy. As an educationist and experienced school administrator, Dr. Leela Ramamurthy has proved a mettle in the field of administration. She has a credit as postgraduate degree in child development and educational psychology. The Inter-American University of Humanistic Studies (USA) in recognition of her distinguished achievement in international level in the field of special education. Dyslexia, Dyslexia has conferred the PhD honor. Dr. Leela has also done certified courses in special education in learning disabilities conducted by Hazel Mackey of UK at Chennai in 1990. Yoga and meditation from Isha Yoga Center, Coimbatore. 1 year educational leadership program by CEMD New Delhi organized by Chinmaya Educational Cell Computer Programming by India. She has also attended a leadership training program by IIM Ahmedabad organized by CBSE. Done a course in international auditing for quality checking for schools. She has served as principal for nearly 15 years in Chimaya Vidyalaya, Chennai and Chinmaya Vidyalaya, Tirupunithra. She convinced the Association of Private School Cluster of CBSE schools. She is instrumental as teacher training institute at Annanagar Chinmaya Vidyalaya and was the coordinator of the program. She is a member of Central Chinmaya Mission Trust Educational Cell, Indian Association of Preschool Education and Rotary Club of Royal Tripunitra. She is also the educational consultant of Amrita Vidyalaya, Kochi, and she is appointed for the internal audit as main assessor of CCMT Education Center for all India Chinmaya Vidyalayas for academic and vision audit. She has attended many national level workshops and received awards like Vocational Excellence, Best Teacher, Best Principal, Tamil Nalpali Nilayam, Women of Tamil Nadu, and has been awarded Honorary Paul Harris Fellowship by District Government W.C. Anand of District in 2001 in appreciation of her noteworthy contributions in field of education. Her other interests include acupuncture and acupressure and has to credit a doctorate degree. Presently, she has been chief coordinator for recently conducted teachers orientation program at Pune for Chinmaya Vidyalaya chief teachers and principals from 30 Kerala Chinmaya schools, 800 delegates. Coordinator of reception committee to receive new international Chinmaya mission head worldwide Swami Swarupan Anand Balaji held at Kochi conducted workshops on identifying learning disability among children at Navy Children's School, Kochi. Conducted CVP workshops at Chinmaya Vidyalayas, Kerala. Conducted training program on acupuncture at Rotary Club, Tripunitra. Served as a coordinator of curriculum research and development and planning for Chinmaya Vidyalayas under CMECT GC. She has been the resource person for CBSE, COE, and Cambridge University and has conducted workshops and seminars on educational, behavior and development psychology related topics, educational gender sensitivity, and leadership related topics like stress management, time management, teacher strategies in classroom, value education, teaching integrity and integrity growth mindset, name a few. She is the current Rotary President for Tripunitra Royal District and Governor's Group Representative elect for the coming Rotary year. Present position as Academic Coordinator in Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth Deemed University. Trustee Chinmaya Mission Educational and Cultural Trust Greater Kochi. President Board of Management Chinmaya Vidyalaya Tripunitra. Member Board of Management Chinmaya College Kochi. On Secretary Sri Venkateshwara High School in Tripunitra, Ernakulam, Kochi. We take immense pleasure to welcome you, ma'am, for celebrating this International Literacy Day by a webinar on relevance of celebrating International Literacy Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Shalini. Our college seems it is an honor to felicitate our chief guest with a memento of appreciation. And now it's time. So I take the immense pleasure of requesting our chief guest, Dr. Leela Ramamurthy, ma'am, academic coordinator of Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth, deemed to be University, Kerala, to take over the celebration. Over to you, ma'am.
Honorary Secretary and Correspondent Dr. Gautam P. Pillai and Dr. Paripurnam, the NSS Program Office of Guru Shri Shanti Vijay Jain College for Women and Vinu Joseph Coordinator, and then Mridula Sangeeta, all are there on the board of computer screen. I take this opportunity to thank you once again And this is, I know that this program is being conducted under NSS wing. So I congratulate all the members and office bearers of NSS for having celebrated this day. And thank you very much again for inviting me to this webinar on International Literacy Day to speak on the subject. What is the relevance of this International Literacy Day observations at this pandemic, COVID pandemic fearful grip? My dear participants, in an increasingly digital world, you know that literacy is more vital to navigate life and work than ever. See, today we are communicating over the online with the help of digital department and computers. So today we will see the importance of literacy, current situation, what are the challenges in front of government and civil society, academia, private sectors and NGOs working to fulfill the gap between literacy and digital learning. It is not only literacy now at this time we are looking at, and also digital skills learning, and to bring sustainable development, not to start with, but to continue the sustainable development to make the dream of, like everybody dreams of 100% literacy, a dream in this world. Let us see what is that our leaders, past, present, about the importance of literacy and education. Some of the quotes by world leaders. We will go on. So slide number 1 and 2, I would like you to just show. Yes. Can I see the slide? Will I be able to see the slide? Thank you all for celebrating this wonderful day. So we have this objectives of today. Origin, we will see what is the history behind Literacy Day celebration and the meaning of Literacy Day. And then we will see the importance of literacy and the digital skills learning. Then what are the challenges in front of us and the remedies that we can prescribe or go for. Next slide. Next slide, please. So Mahatma Gandhi says that live as if you were to die tomorrow, learn as if you were to live forever. So this is the thirst that we should have for learning. Next. Since I don't have control, you can. So Nelson Mandela, another world leader that the world has ever seen, education is the most powerful weapon with which you can change the world. And he has seen the world and worst part of literacy in the country like Africa. So his words are very, very powerful and mighty in the field of literacy and education. He has enlivened many, many people, downtrodden people, to the front for with the weapon of education. Let us see the history of International Literacy Day now. Next slide. The 14th session of UNESCO, United Nations Educational and Cultural Organization, which has more than 130 members, general on October 26, 1966, declared September 8th as International Literacy Day. But before itself, the idea was mooted. The idea of an International Literacy Day was born at the World Conference of Ministers of Education on the Eradication of Illiteracy, which was held in Tehran, Iran on 18 and 19 September 1965. And in 1966, they have passed out the law and they decided that we will celebrate so that it will be an awareness that the world can look forward for. Since the first International Literacy Day in 1967, celebrations started taking place annually around the world coordinated by UNESCO. Countries and partners were there to advance the literacy agenda to global, regional, and national level. At present, there are 193 countries are there as members, and with 11 associate members in UNESCO. So, why is International Day is celebrated? Next slide. So, let us see why every year this is celebrated. Every year this is celebrated with a different theme. So the International Literacy Day mission finds that education systems must provide for the educational training needs of both young generation who have not yet begun to sustain life and generations that have already become adult now, because they didn't have the education in the younger age. Now they have become the adult without having had a benefit of essential minimum of elementary education. Even we will see the statistics in the coming slide. The effort for complete literacy skills for every human being by 2030 is the agenda, continues to observe national education plans. That is why our national education policy has been revived now for 2020, and till 2030 we have to see the effective plans is being implemented. That includes schooling for children and literacy training for adults as parallel elements, literary schooling education and the literary training for adults. So this has to go parallel, because those children who miss the elementary education has become the adult now. What was the theme for ILD 2020? So it has got a relevance, that is why I have taken. So the 2020 theme was literacy, teaching and learning in the COVID-19 crisis and beyond. You can see in the slide. So what does it means? So what does we have to do the learning and teaching literacy in the crisis of COVID-19 pandemic? Imagine not being able to read during a pandemic. Imagine not being able to read during pandemic and miss out on life-saving information. Even to register, we have to have a digital knowledge. We have to read the pamphlets for the details. We hear through all the medias, but if we are not educated to understand, to read, you can imagine the plight of those illiterate people. Globally, the COVID-19 has disrupted 91% students and 63 million teachers. 91% of students and 63 million teachers. While efforts have been made to continue education through distant learning, which has got its own handicaps and we will see that the demerits of distance learning, youth and adult literacy programs have mostly been suspended due to various reasons of unavailability of the tools and people. We will see that in the coming slides. This is a stark reminder of the fragile state of literacy learning. You can see that. Some of the interesting factors of 2020, we'll go to the next slide. India's literacy rate stands at 77% between 2011 to 2020-25 assessment. Kerala has the best literacy rate with 96.2. Delhi has the best literacy rate of 88.7, followed by Uttarakhand 87.6, Himachal Pradesh 83.6, Assam at 85.9%. But you will see the Tamil Nadu 80%, Kanyakumari 91.75 leading, Dharmapuri is the lowest among that. That too, urban and rural area has been differently rated. So which country has highest literacy rate? Any idea? Russia. The global literacy rate for all people aged 15 and above is 86.3%. Now we will have how the COVID-19 crisis has affected the learning. Before that, we will see South Korea has achieved 100% literacy right now. So the current assessment we don't have, but till now South Korea is having 100% literacy. COVID-19 has disrupted the learning of children, young adults, and unprecedented scale. It has affected 773 million non-literate people, including young and adults. The leverage, the transformative power to literacy, we need prioritize now quality teaching and learning, because we have literate. We are only touched 70%. Where what about the 30%? Which lies rural rate is little higher. It has been developed by 7 to 10%, and urban also it is increased, but not the 10% results we have achieved in spite of lot of our effort in the field of literacy. We need to invest in educators so they can adapt the teaching to various conditions, because we are lacking lot of learning situations, like people and tools, and those are ready to go to the rural side and then be there and teach. So we have to invest in educators and pay them nicely and motivate them, inspire them to work with downtrodden people who miss the literacy in the basic education. Next slide. What are the measures that we can take to alleviate the COVID-19 crisis globally? Three methods, for example, there are many methods. By ensuring continuity of learning at all level, bringing opportunities for in-person learning, I said 1-to-1 person, and then providing more access to literacy training. These are all protecting from the COVID situation with all precautionary measures that we have to take, because online programs will not help them. We have to enter into the physically in-person offline learning and teaching. So what is the theme of ILD 2021 right now? This year's theme which we are talking about, it's a continuation of 2020 of a pandemic COVID-19 situation. Literacy for a human centered, narrowing the digital divide. So this is two possibilities we have to look at right now as challenges. One is human centered. It should be literacy should be human centered, because it has to reach the people who need it. At the same time, the digital learning gap has to be narrowed. So literacy has become a crucial component for sustainable development, has also become an integral part of education, as we say, to provide lifelong learning as defined by the sustainable development and goal. Literacy, therefore, is central to a human centered recovery, because we are lapsed and we have lacked the basic literacy. So, we have to recover the human beings from that stage to face and live with the COVID-19, and simultaneously the literacy also has to go hand in hand with the digital skill learning. What is meant by literacy, first of all, in this current situation? Is it only read and write? So along with providing a sound knowledge to read and write, to give a sound knowledge of e-services education. So lot of education now, this seminar is possible because of lot of effort. That too, it is telecast through the YouTube connection. So there are people, I heard that they are working for the YouTube presentation at the same time running the online webinar. So these are the technology which we have to pass on to the people, along with the literacy teaching to learn and write and read. Digital revolution in our day-to-day life. What is the impact? Now we all know that knowledge and information are at our fingertips, unleashing new opportunities, and the rate of opportunities or the exposure of opportunities nobody can imagine. So that unimaginable rate it is flowing. So learning happening on live, anywhere, anytime. This is what we have to look at it. Anywhere, anytime, the learning is happening now on live. How literacy is crucial at the present scenario. When we say it is online and on live, no, there are people who are not exposed to even a basic reading and writing. Forget about writing, they can't even read. There are African countries below 20%, and they have taken statistics, and it is found that the children who are studying up to third standard, they don't know how to read. So now the campaign has been started by NGOs to have to achieve 100% literacy, to make below third standard to read, because once you able to read below third standard, then the rest they will catch it up. How literacy is crucial at the present scenario. Without literacy, the digital world turned to be obstacles. Knowledge of reading and writing is very necessary, that the digital world can be understood. What is the reality in terms of status of literacy globally? We have seen 773 million youth and adults still cannot read and write. We only talked about India 70%, but then globally, see, the millions of people are there illiterate, out of which 63% are women. 617 million children are not achieving minimum proficiency level in reading, which I was talking about. What is this meaning education in the modern context then? Literacy we saw. How do we educate? How do we go about with the education purpose? So there are people who have already foreseen. So these Mahatmas has already said about the importance of literacy and education. Literacy is the most important basic currency of the knowledge economy, according to Barack Obama, who was the president. Literacy is much more than an educational priority now. It is the ultimate investment in the future. So the quote is from unknown person. Education is the most powerful weapon with which you can change the world. We'll see. We have already seen Mandela saying. Then Albert Einstein, who was a famous scientist and thinker, philosophical and metaphysical thinker. Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. That is, training of the mind to think. Now, how pandemic has become a reminder of the crucial importance literacy and right to education as a whole. Now, education is the birthright. We all say that. Now, the digital learning has to be a birthright. So, the sentence has to be recoined now. So, how do we go about as a reminder of the critical importance of the literacy right now, the current scenario? Literacy holds an intrinsic importance as a part of right to education. Literacy empowers individual, we know that, but all this said and done, and lot of policies have been made by government and NGOs, the reach is limited because of various reasons. The attack has to be with that challenges and the remedies. So the place of literacy in UN's 2030 agenda of sustainable development and goals. So we'll see what is actually the agenda says. We need to build robust learning systems, that is give a energetic attack, a boost up learning programs, so that literacy programs throughout life are resilient. We can always adjust with our life when the literacy and the education is within us. Together, we can use this time of crisis, COVID-19 pandemic, to reimagine the literacy teaching and learning, because we cannot do what we have been doing it. So we have to look at in a different platform, different ways to reach the people. This may continue, this situation of pandemic will continue for another longer period of time. So can we keep quiet is the question when we celebrate the International Literacy Day, national literacy policies, looking at it at this September 8th, 2021. Literacy has become the key factor for bringing sustainable development. We know that literacy, the issue of literacy, is a key component of the UN Sustainable Development 2030 agenda. But then, what are we actually looking at? So, here the new 5-year UNESCO strategies for youth and adult literature 2025 Well, let us see. They have mainly taken for 5 agendas. Next screen. Mainly, we will go for the 5 one. Next one. Okay, let the screen be there. So the number 1 is developing national literacy policies and strategies, addressing the learning needs of disadvantaged group, particularly women and girls, leveraging digital technology to expand access to all and improve learning outcomes. Monitoring, it's not only teaching and learning like teachers and the professors in the colleges. We have to see monitoring the learning outcomes in terms assessing the progress in literacy and digital learning skills and of related programs, how far we have reached. So in between, the checking system, monitoring system also has to be developed. Next slide. So once you learn to read, you know that you will be forever read. It's a Frederick Douglass which says, but we will come to that. Yes. So before that, we will come to the reimagining the future literacy teaching and learning within and beyond the context of the pandemic by International Literacy Day 2021. 4 things they have been discussed. Empower individuals, improve their lives. We have seen bring sustainable development, interplay of literacy and digital skills for the 21st century, because all the jobs related learning is on 21st skills on learning, academics, and also digital skills. Explore ways and means to make technology enabled literacy learning inclusive and meaningful. So these are the challenges that we have to meet now. Next slide. So again, if you look at the challenges alone, the few ones are there. You can make a note as NSS units and community service. The children and the people, the staff can take care of whatever is accessible in your area. Don't have a blind eye towards the society or the kind of a community, because when you look at for seva, you will see that there are people around. When you see that, okay, my place is safe, everybody is literate and everybody can read and write, but then what about read and write to the digital learning? How far we can reach them? Can we call them to this side? Can we go out and teach them? Where is the community place where they can come and learn? Are we able to provide sufficient tools? So let us see the challenges. Lack of access to internet facilities at home. So are we able to connect that? Because as a college you have all the facilities. Can we look at utilizing, extending to the community? Lack of digital knowledge. There are people who knows the knowledge. Can you share with to the community? Lack of availability to of experts of teach. You have expertism with you. Expertise persons are there. What are we going to do with that? Can we extend to, or can we invite some kind of NGOs work with you to share these facilities? Lack of ability to produce learning materials. Yes, we have to look at it in the ground level. We have day one onwards in the primary classes, LKG, UKG, and the first standard classes, textbooks. But those who cannot read, what is the use of textbooks? So it is not that we meant by learning materials. Learning materials visually, it is audio visual, so that those who cannot read can see and learn, and then all kinds of cartoonic figures can come, so that the learning can be easy for the one who is just picking up the literacy, because these things have to go hand in hand. It cannot be, you cannot teach ABCD or 1 2 3 or EE2 learn with the digital later. Both has to go hand in hand. How? So literacy, one side, educate them to come up with their own independent status. At the same time, visually, audially, you are introducing them to the digital world, which is the important thing in the current scenario of the COVID pandemic, because we cannot reach them any other methods. Insufficient people to manage. These are all governmental problems we have. NGOs are working on it, and then as students of NSS and the College of Reputed Fame, why can't we take little bit of? All squirrels have taken their might on their shoulder when the Sri Rama want to build the bridge, isn't it? So even monkeys join, squirrels join. So what is our might that we are going to do at this point of time? Please think about this. Next slide. So let me just quote Malala here, who says, who believes one child, one teacher, one book, one pen can change the world. That is what. So I just add to it that let us join hands by adding, along with this one book, one child, one pen can change the world, with the learning of digital skills in the current scenario of literacy, teaching and learning also can be changed, isn't it? So the agenda for 2030 is no one is left behind. So let us step up the collective efforts to continued support with our infrastructure, with our expertise for making literacy teaching and learning a priority. So we have to look for it. Where is it? Need not be nearby. You can go beyond your own boundaries to have. I have seen people from North India coming to help in the southern area, interior side. They come with families staying there and extending their help. I know the learned and illiterate people who stay in villages and rural areas and tribal areas, forgetting their own comforts and then working towards it. They don't have any fear of COVID or pandemic because they are doing a wonderful job, which is not reaching there at all in the remote areas. So they are continuing their wonderful work. So our aim is no one is left behind by 2030 is the global agenda right now. So we have a message from the Director General of UNESCO, Andre Azolle. I just read out so that we can see that how actually this is going to achieve, his vision to achieve. So as a time when we need to reinvent a world of hope, literacy is more important than ever, he says. On this International Literacy Day, I thus invite all those involved in education to redouble their investments and mobilize all their resources. Just in the line of our thoughts, mobilize all their resources to unleash the potential, whose potential, of each individual in the service of shared world for the unfortunate people, those who are called illiterate, even at the 21st century. So with that, we will leave for some queries and questions. So thank you all for sharing these thoughts with you all on this wonderful day. So I've been given 40 to 45 minutes. Wish you all a fruitful International Day celebration of the year starting today, where you could start doing your might to join the campaign of No One Is Left Behind. 100% literacy, make sure your own place, your own country, your own village, your own urban area or a town. No one is left behind in learning the basic elementary education with a sound knowledge of digital skills learning. So now we don't look at this 21st century, 2021 as a human centered. At the same time, we have to reduce the digital device, so that we have to work on improving the digital skills of the children or the people, adult, and giving them aware of all these things. Government is doing its own best of providing digitals. Now the entire country of our national, when you look at it, entire country is changing. See, the PAN card has come and everybody knew about it. The ATMs and all those punching cards have come. So even a farmer has to have a knowledge of how to take the money with and how to transact cashless transactions, and they should know how to work by themselves to learning and writing. The entire world is on your fingertips. They only lack the knowledge. If they know the knowledge, they can tap their own information, their own kind of a knowledge, where they can explore their possibilities. So we know, the literate people know, the advanced people know, everywhere everything has been digitalized, fashion world, and then all machines and all our working factory setup or office setup, everything is digitalized. But think about those who cannot even read and write, those who don't have the basic literacy knowledge. So, required to fulfill the literacy teaching and learning to a human centered education. So, this is what the new theme goes with the 2021. So, I just want to pass the message. Everybody can do whatever they can do. That is the call of the national global leaders, that please ensure that you either serve with your knowledge, serve with your time, or serve with your money that you have. So these three can reach the beneficiaries, so the people can take care about itself. So once you learn to read with the digital skills, you will be forever free. So you are transforming a child or an individual to see their own world by themselves. Like a cocoon, lava, becoming a butterfly, you are the creator to create somebody to come out to the world and see the world as it is, and to enjoy all the pleasures and all the advantages that it has got, so that it feels the freedom. If we don't give that freedom at now, we will see that still slavery is going on. Still, those olden days where the literature and the knowledge is from the upper class and the lower class has not been given. So, that condition will continue. Though we talk about only percentage about 70, 80, or 90, we are not, as long as we don't reach 100%, we cannot sleep, we cannot rest, we cannot stop with our teaching and learning. So, all the best students of NSS and Jain College. I'm very happy to associate with you on this wonderful day. So, whatever little knowledge I have got, I shared with you. So, all of us into the field of education, so that we can spread the message of literacy and digital learning to the needy people as early as possible, as quick as possible, as far as possible. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving us an inspiring speech. A college seems to be it as an honor to felicitate a chief guest with a memento of appreciation.
Thank you. Any question, any queries you have? Audience? Those who are managing, is there any questions in the chat box?
Ma'am, I guess everyone is clear with the concept that
Thank you. I have been repeating the points. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So they have all been clear with that, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Is there any concluding prayer?
No duty is more important than of returning thanks. Now, I request Vinu Josephine from second year BCom CS, NSS Joint Secretary to propose the vote of thanks.
Yes, we know. I'm looking forward to see you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm V. Vinu Josephine, second year BCom Corporate Secretaryship, Shift 2, NSS Joint Secretary of Guru Sri Jain College, for women here to present vote of thanks for today's webinar. I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. Leela Ramamurthy, who honored this event with her inspirational thoughts. Thank you for enlightening us on coming to this live and for taking out time on our busy schedule, ma'am. I would like to thank our beloved principal, Dr. M.K. Malathi ma'am, Dr. Gautam P. Vyat, Hon Secretary and Correspondent, and our NSS Program Officer, Dr. Paripurna ma'am, staff members, participants, volunteers, and most importantly, our students. Once again, I thank each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinu. Let's raise for the national anthem. Thank you all once again. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Vinu.